Did you know? According to sobering statistics, like those often highlighted by the American Heart Association, someone in the United States has a heart attack every 40 seconds. Even more alarming, many of these attacks occur silently, with heart attack warning signs we might easily dismiss or mistake for a normal part of aging. Right now, a seemingly harmless habit, or even a popular health trend, could be a ticking time bomb for your heart, and you might not even realize it. I know you've heard a lot about intermittent fasting, about the supposed miraculous benefits that fasting or time-restricted eating can bring. But recently, a flood of conflicting information has surfaced, sowing seeds of doubt and confusion. Is this practice truly safe for our hearts, or could it be silently increasing the risk of a myocardial infarction? That gnawing fear of a sudden chest pain, the dread of becoming a burden to your family, or that helpless feeling of not knowing who to trust amidst a chaotic sea of health advice. These are the anxieties many of us in our golden years grapple with daily. But you are not alone. In today's video, we will not shy away from the truth. We will dissect the latest scientific evidence with you, clearly analyzing both the benefits and the potential dangers of intermittent fasting with complete objectivity. Most importantly, this video will empower you with the knowledge to correctly identify heart attack symptoms, understand the common causes of heart attack, and provide you with concrete, easy-to-follow strategies so you can proactively prevent heart attack and protect your precious heart health in the most effective way possible. Stay with us until the very end, because what you're about to hear could forever change the way you think about caring for your heart, bringing you peace of mind and renewed hope for a healthier future. Our heart is truly a marvel, working tirelessly day in and day out. It is the very essence of our vitality. A healthy heart forms the cornerstone of an active, joyful life, allowing us to cherish moments with loved ones and pursue our passions. However, it's a sobering fact that heart disease and other forms of cardiovascular disease remain a formidable challenge to our health and longevity worldwide. As the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, frequently highlights, heart disease is the leading cause of death in the United States. To put this into perspective, data from the CDC indicates that about 805,000 people in the United States experience a heart attack each year. One of the most prevalent forms of heart disease is coronary artery disease, CAD. This serious condition occurs when the vital arteries supplying blood to our heart muscle become narrowed or even blocked by a buildup of fatty deposits, also known as plaques, a process called atherosclerosis. You can imagine these crucial pathways, essential for delivering oxygen-rich blood, slowly getting clogged. When this vital flow is severely reduced or completely cut off, it can lead to devastating complications, including a myocardial infarction, which we commonly refer to as a heart attack. Now, what are the typical causes of heart attack? It's rarely a single factor, but often a combination. This plaque buildup, atherosclerosis, is a primary culprit. But our lifestyle choices also play a very significant role. This includes our diet, our level of physical activity, and habits such as smoking. Furthermore, underlying conditions like high blood pressure, elevated cholesterol levels, and diabetes are major contributors to the risk of heart disease. And, of course, we must acknowledge that our genetic makeup can also predispose some of us to these conditions. It's precisely because our heart health is so profoundly precious that any new information, especially studies that touch upon potential dangers of intermittent fasting or any dietary approach in relation to our heart, can understandably cause a wave of concern and a strong desire to learn more. We naturally want to know if the methods we're considering are genuinely safe and beneficial, or if they might carry unforeseen risks. And you know, it's perfectly okay to feel a little unsettled or even confused by conflicting headlines and an ever-changing landscape of health advice. The world of health information can sometimes feel like navigating a complex maze. But here's the empowering part. Truly understanding how our heart functions and what genuinely impacts its well-being gives us the map and the compass to navigate that maze with confidence. This isn't about succumbing to fear. It's about striving for clarity. It's about transforming that natural concern into proactive, informed choices that genuinely nurture your well-being and allow you to take control of your heart health worldwide. So, what exactly is intermittent fasting, or as it's sometimes called, time-restricted eating? In simple terms, it's not primarily about what you eat, but rather when you eat. It involves cycling between periods of eating, as you normally would, and periods of intentional fasting, or not eating. There are several popular approaches to intermittent fasting. For example, the 16-8 method involves an 8-hour window for eating each day, followed by a 16-hour fast. Another common one is the 5-2 diet, where you eat normally for 5 days a week and significantly reduce your calorie intake on 2 non-consecutive days. The underlying idea is that these periods of fasting can trigger certain beneficial processes in the body. Now, a growing body of research has explored the potential intermittent fasting benefits for overall health. For instance, some studies have shown it can be an effective tool for weight management and can improve insulin sensitivity. Improved insulin sensitivity is particularly important as it plays a key role in preventing type 2 diabetes, which itself is a significant risk factor for heart disease. Beyond weight and blood sugar, some time-restricted eating results from clinical trials have pointed towards improvements in other markers relevant to heart health. These include positive changes in blood lipid profiles, such as cholesterol levels, reductions in systemic inflammation, and even beneficial effects on blood pressure, all of which are crucial for maintaining a healthy cardiovascular system. During periods of fasting, our cells can initiate this self-cleaning process, where they remove damaged components and regenerate newer, healthier cells. This cellular housekeeping is thought to contribute to many of the observed health benefits. For example, a comprehensive review published in the New England Journal of Medicine has detailed how intermittent fasting can influence metabolic switching and cellular stress resistance, pathways that may have positive implications for longevity and reducing the risk of chronic diseases, including cardiovascular disease. However, and this is a point I cannot stress enough, the way our bodies respond to intermittent fasting is highly individual. What works wonders for one person might not be suitable or even safe for another, especially as we age and our bodies have different needs and may be managing pre-existing health conditions. Therefore, understanding these potential benefits is just the first step. Applying them wisely and safely is paramount. Now, let's address the recent information that has understandably caused some ripples of concern. You may have heard about a preliminary study presented at a scientific conference hosted by the American Heart Association, which garnered significant media attention. This research suggested that individuals following a 16-8 intermittent fasting schedule, meaning they ate within an 8-hour window, had a higher reported risk of death from cardiovascular disease. This news, of course, has raised many questions and anxieties, particularly for those who are currently practicing or considering intermittent fasting as a way to improve their overall well-being, including their heart health. To truly understand these findings, it's crucial we look closely at the nature of the research itself. This particular report was an abstract, which is a brief summary of an observational study. In an observational study, researchers track a group of people over time and look for associations between certain exposures, in this case a specific eating pattern, and health outcomes, such as the risk of death from heart-related issues. A key limitation of observational studies, however, is that while they can identify potential links or correlations, they cannot definitively prove that one factor causes another. There could be many other unmeasured lifestyle factors, or what scientists call confounding variables, such as the overall quality of diet, stress levels, or exercise habits that might influence the results and were not fully accounted for. Furthermore, this study relied on participants' self-reported dietary recall from just 2 days, and their health was then tracked over several years. Accurately remembering everything one ate, even for a short period, can be quite challenging, and this can introduce inaccuracies into the data. It's also very important to recognize that information presented at a conference as an abstract is typically preliminary. It has not yet undergone the rigorous peer review process, where independent experts in the field scrutinize the study's methodology, analysis, and conclusions before it's published in a reputable medical journal. This peer review process is a cornerstone of scientific validation. Therefore, it would be premature to draw firm conclusions or make drastic changes to your health regimen based solely on such preliminary findings, especially when they touch upon potential dangers of intermittent fasting. Science is an evolving field, and it requires multiple, robust, and well-designed studies to establish clear cause and effect relationships and to fully understand the implications for our health. We need more in-depth research with more controlled designs to truly clarify this complex picture. This is not about dismissing new information, but about approaching it with a discerning and informed perspective, understanding its context and limitations before allowing it to cause undue alarm. Indeed, the scientific landscape regarding intermittent fasting and its impact on heart health is quite complex and multifaceted. Beyond the concerning study we've discussed, there is a considerable body of other research, including randomized controlled trials, which are generally considered a more reliable type of study for determining cause and effect. Many of these studies have indicated positive effects of various forms of time-restricted eating on several risk factors for heart disease. For instance, some research suggests that adopting intermittent fasting protocols can contribute to improvements in blood pressure, aid in weight loss, particularly a reduction in visceral fat, the harmful fat around our organs, and lower markers of inflammation throughout the body. Furthermore, studies have pointed to beneficial changes in blood lipid profiles, such as reductions in LDL, often called bad cholesterol, and triglycerides, all of which are significant factors in our efforts to prevent heart attack and maintain cardiovascular wellness. These findings paint a more nuanced picture than a single study might suggest, highlighting potential intermittent fasting benefits when applied appropriately. However, and this is a crucial point particularly for our valued audience, when we talk about applying fasting principles for older adults, generally those over 60, we must proceed with a heightened sense of caution and awareness. The bodies of older adults have unique physiological characteristics and distinct nutritional requirements that must be respected. There are several potential risks that need careful consideration. For example, prolonged periods of fasting could increase the risk of hypoglycemia, or low blood sugar, especially for individuals managing diabetes with medication. Another significant concern is the potential for muscle loss. Maintaining muscle mass is vital as we age. It supports our metabolism, strength, and overall mobility. And extended fasting without careful nutritional planning could unfortunately compromise this. There's also the possibility of nutritional deficiencies if the eating window isn't utilized to consume a well-balanced, nutrient-dense diet. Moreover, intermittent fasting could potentially interact with certain medications commonly prescribed for age-related health conditions. Therefore, it's abundantly clear that not every intermittent fasting approach is suitable for everyone, and this is especially true for older individuals. Before considering any significant changes to your eating patterns, particularly restrictive methods like these, the first and most critical step is to have a thorough discussion with your doctor or a registered dietitian. They are best positioned to understand your complete health picture, including any pre-existing conditions or medications, and can provide personalized advice to help you protect your heart safely and effectively. While when you eat can be a factor, truly working to prevent heart attack and maintain optimal heart health demands a much broader commitment to a comprehensive healthy lifestyle. Your diet is absolutely foundational. Prioritize the quality of your food. A diet abundant in diverse fruits like antioxidant-rich berries and avocados with their healthy fats, vibrant vegetables such as spinach and garlic known for their heart-protective compounds, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats has proven benefits. It's just as crucial to significantly limit processed sugars, unhealthy saturated and trans fats, and excess sodium, all of which can contribute to the causes of heart attack. Beyond nutrition, remember the power of regular, appropriate physical activity. Even a daily brisk walk can make a substantial difference to your cardiovascular disease risk. Effectively managing stress, ensuring you get sufficient restful sleep, and definitively avoiding tobacco are also vital pillars for protecting your heart. And, of course, consistent health checkups help in early detection and management of heart disease risk factors. While prevention is paramount, being able to recognize heart attack symptoms swiftly can be life-saving. It's not always the dramatic, crushing chest pain often depicted. Signs of heart attack can be more subtle, particularly in older adults and women. Be vigilant for other heart attack warning signs: sudden shortness of breath, unexplained nausea or extreme fatigue, or discomfort that may feel like pressure or pain in one or both arms, the back, neck, jaw, or stomach area. If these symptoms arise, especially if they are sudden or severe, do not hesitate. Call 911 immediately. Swift action is critical when dealing with a potential myocardial infarction. So, as we draw to a close, remember that the journey to good heart health is one that requires patience, understanding, and a balanced approach to new information. Don't let preliminary or unverified claims cause unnecessary alarm. Instead, focus on the well-established, scientifically supported principles of comprehensive wellness we've discussed. We genuinely believe that with the right knowledge, a proactive spirit, and guidance from your trusted healthcare professionals, you absolutely can maintain a strong, healthy heart and